What's good, y'all? Back with another content. Mortal Kombat, the controversial beat 'em up, which changed gaming forever. Mortal Kombat is not a beat 'em up; it's a fighting game. So this article needs to get a self-correction. Let's hop onto it. A deep voice and tones finish him. Then a clad fighter rips out his opponent's hearts, and the voice unprovenly belows fatality. The infamous fatality moves in the 2D beat 'em up Mortal Kombat. It's not a beat 'em up, it's a fighting game. Come on, like this article is just article doesn't make any sense. I'm not liking this. 2D beat 'em up Mortal Kombat inspired horror among politicians in the early 90s and paved the way for age ratings on games. The killing blows, which came after you have defeated an enemy, as a final humiliation, including ripping out a victim's spine and punching people's head off. To execute the moves, players had to hit a sequence of keystrokes after beating their opponents in the game's 2D Kung Fu battle. You got that right. It was on this day, 29 years ago, on October 8th, 1992, that the gory phenomenon was unleashed on an unexpected public, where it hit arcades for the first time in the US, which is true. The game's realistic, digested sprites were groundbreaking at the time, giving the characters a look of real video, although the game's blood was cartooned by contrast. The game's makers had hoped to do a game starring a digested Jean-Claude Van Damme, but settled for paying homage with the character Johnny Cage, whose moves are similar to Van Damme's, and who decapitates people with the brutal uppercut, marketed with a poster showing footballer Vinnie Jones saying, "To be this hard takes ages." What they also forgot to put in the article is his nut punch. Pause. That is also one of his most iconic moves, is the nut punch. The game was a hit with the gamers, with Mega Power magazine writing, "The real icing on this brutal blood-filled cake are the individual death blows. Otherwise, we're less enthused." Social Security Minister urges a boycott of Sega, who published the game on the Mega Drive. Mr. Peter Smith, on the Association of Teachers and Lecturers, said, "If children are encouraged to think that violence is a game for them to participate in, it shows a very distant set of values." And this is where the woke politician issue stuff happened, because in the 90s, they were known for being critical of these violent video games and thinking that kids are going to end up doing the exact same thing in real life, which is not true. They have programs that teach kids about things that are going on in this world, but you don't need to take it to the courtroom and try to encourage parents to not to buy these games. If kids want to play it, let them play it. It's not like they're going to do stuff in real life. Like, kids know better than to do stuff like that in reality. They know the difference between real and fake, reality and fantasy, you know? But the furor over the game paved the way for the recognition that it wasn't just children who play video games, adults do too. True. The Mortal Kombat series is now a successful multimedia franchise with more than a dozen games and spin-offs and 2 Hollywood films based on the games. They forgot to add 3 because the recent one just came out this year. The game has sold 73 million copies since launch, with the latest Mortal Kombat 11 selling 11 million copies on its own. In total, the Mortal Kombat franchise is estimated to have earned more than $5 billion during the decade since the launch. And you know what? I think that right there is something I have to agree with, because since the launch, people are already praising the game franchise as a whole for what it is. And I've seen dozens of great Mortal Kombat players on YouTube, especially the gameplays of Katana, Liu Kang, Raiden, Sub-Zero, Jax, especially in Mortal Kombat 2, they know how to work the combos. It's like they were playing Mortal Kombat 3 because of the running and the hit detections. Mortal Kombat 2 does not have that. All they do is walk, jump, and hit the combos, button matching like crazy. And they know how to do it, unlike myself. So, shout outs to the real players who know how to do the combos, man. That's for y'all. The controversy over the game inspired game publishers to set up a voluntary age rating system for games. Yeah. The European Software Publisher Association used a trick box system to whether games were appropriate for under 10s or older age groups, saying to ensure responsible behavior by members and allowing parents to make informed choices about the game playing for their children. Since 2012, the games are rated in the UK by the Video Standards Council, with particularly violent games rated by the British Board of Film Censors. Mortal Kombat is the most successful fighting game of all time, with more films based on the series in development, and which is exactly what Warner Brothers is doing now. But going back to the title of the video, instead of just calling it Beat 'em Up, you should call it a fighting game that changed forever. That's what you should have done. So, if y'all want the original video, it would be in the description below. The game has made history in the Mortal Kombat genre. It also paved the way for the rating systems, paved the way for future violent fighting games that were inspired by Mortal Kombat. But unfortunately, all of that failed miserably. Pit Fighter, Bloodstorms, that was a massive fail. And if y'all remember the lawsuit between the cast of Mortal Kombat and Mortal Kombat 2, they all sued Midway for something that happened behind the scenes. And one of the actors who played Johnny Cage went on to another video game promotion to promote their games. And he ended up dealing with a lawsuit because of that. That's one of the craziest history of the Mortal Kombat franchise as a whole. But like I said, if y'all want the article, it will be in the description below. So yeah, make sure y'all tune in. I have another video to talk about. And yeah, y'all take it easy.